telephone line, I have Chubby Checker. I'm so pleased that we've managed to do this. Chubby, a very good day to you from Spain.
How are you?
I'm absolutely fine. And reading, of course, that you're the only artist to have 5 albums in the top 12 all at once. The first platinum with Let's Twist Again. The only artist to have a song to be #1 twice. The Twist. The only artist to have 9 double-sided hits. And, of course, you changed the way we dance to the beat. And that was since 1959. Wow, that is quite a record, isn't it?
It's interesting. Doing something in the music industry, and people are still enjoying that. I mean, right in some place in Spain tonight, someone's going to be dancing to somebody's music, and she's going to be looking at him, and he's going to be looking at her, and they're going to be doing their own thing. That's what we brought to the music industry. It's quite incredible.
And the big thing, of course, is as we were growing up, I certainly would never have thought that we'd be having a conversation on a radio station airwaves in Spain. And, it's just wonderful the way life can take you in such wonderful directions. Can I ask you about the dance, the twist itself, and where did the whole idea of that come from?
Well, Hank Ballard wrote the song called The Twist, and radio played it for a while. And the had made up a dance to the lyrics of this song. And when radio stopped playing it, no one was ever going to see the dance that the kids put together, and they never were going to hear the song again. And so the people of our record company got together and said, let's go down into the grave and dig up and resurrect this thing and see if we can make it and bring life to it. And we did. And we took the twist and we campaigned it and made a science out of it. The formula to dancing apart to the beat is the twist is like putting out a cigarette with both feet, coming out of the shower, wiping off your bottom with a towel to the beat of the music. Now, if you're wiping off your bottom with a towel to the beat of the music, you're not touching your partner, which is giving us this thing called freestyle dancing to the beat of the music. And we did that on American Bandstand. In 2 minutes and 42 seconds, we changed the world. And dancing apart to the beat was the biggest thing that happened in the music industry at that very moment. And as we speak, dancing apart to the beat is still the biggest event in the music industry.
And, when I'm meeting people like yourself over the airwaves, and I'm thinking, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I was speaking with Emile Ford, and there's so much more to all of these people like yourself that have influenced our lives. For example, I was reading that you also were able to do quite a lot of vocal impressions, weren't you?
I didn't hear. I always have done that. When I was a kid, we always wanted to do voices of other people, and we had fun doing that. And in fact, my first song, the first record that I ever recorded was a record called "The Class," and in my classroom was Elvis Presley and Fats Domino and a few others, the Everly Brothers, and and I did impressions of these people singing "Mary Had a Little Lamb."
Absolutely lovely, and I've got a lovely picture in my mind's eye, and this is about the store owner of Fresh Farm Poultry, who was so impressed that he began showing your talents to his customers through a loudspeaker. Your talents through the loudspeaker.
Yeah, well, it's the store. It's the poultry market where I worked, and from there we went into the recording studio. In fact, I used to sing in the front of Henry's store, and all the customers used to come and see who was doing all the singing. And as a result of that, we had a great business, and we had a great business in the store. And Henry thought I was a very nice kid, and so he took me to a friend of his named Cal Mann, and up to a studio in Philadelphia, and that's when my record career began. I was 17 years old, and I remember while the twist was being played on the radio, I was still in high school, and I was also graduating while that song was being played on the radio.
Wow. And was that a difficult time? Was it something that made you feel more like leaving the high school, or were you quite happy with what was going on?
Not at all. It was just, it was just part of my life. I I always thought when I was a kid, when I was like 4 and 5 years old, that I wanted to be on stage and be a big star. I just never thought that when I was in high school that I would hear records on the radio that's being played by me, being played by disc jockeys on the radio. I was very excited about that. But you know something, I knew that it was a big responsibility, and I had a lot of work to do, and there was a lot of things and responsibility that went along with all of this fame. So I just took one day at a time.
Well, obviously, throughout my career as a disc jockey, I remember playing the slow twist. I remember playing. Didn't you do the limbo rock as well?
In fact, as we speak, the limbo, we recorded the limbo about 2.5 years ago. It's being played. In fact, last week, Limbo Remix got played about 360 times in America because we recorded this song about 2.5 years ago, and it's being played on the radio called Limbo Remix. And the Limbo is out again. I mean, in about 1.5 years ago, the Limbo was number 2 on the dance charts in America.
Wow. These are fabulous things to talk about, and I also wanted to ask you about you know the guy that impressed you so much when you were a young lad, and your mum took you to see Sugar Child Robinson.
Well, it was a piano player that I liked, and he was about 11 years old. He's a boogie-woogie piano player, and I was about 5 years old when I heard him play. And also, my mom took me to the fair, a country fair in Georgetown, South Carolina, and I saw Ernest Tubbs, who also was a country singer, and he was a cowboy playing, on stage there. And I saw him, and between Ernest Tubbs and Sugar Child Robinson, it was like, my goodness, I just had to be in show business because it was so exciting for me.
And of course, you seem to have been very aware of the types of things that you could maybe latch onto. For example, with the marketing, you seem to be well organised with that. Was that consciously done? Well,
you mean marketing? I always like to sell things. I'm very much into entrepreneurship. I like to go out, and I love waking up in the morning creating something. If I work for 14 or 15 hours a day, I always like working for myself. I enjoy that.
And you've just come back from Australia, haven't you?
We did a commercial. We did a commercial in Australia, and I think it's going to be on the air for about a year and a half. And every now and then we get a chance to do something like that, being able to go out and do a commercial. We did a few in the United States, and they were all over television. So the commercials have really helped with the career and getting my name out there and keeping my name out there. Very important because if you don't get a lot of airplay on the radio, all of these other things are supplementations to continue the career.
And I was absolutely flabbergasted. I had no idea that you'd actually married Miss World in 1964, wasn't it?
Yes.
Absolutely. And these sorts of things that I've never even read that, I must be honest.
Well, there isn't a lot of information, about Chubby Checker. I remain kind of a mystery in the music industry, and it always has been that way. We have done tremendous things in the music industry, things that no one's ever done, but no one knows about it. It's always been very quiet. Vince, we have suffered from a lack of airplay on radio on the planet. But in the meantime, we do the best we can with what we have.
Yes. Can I ask you, the check jacket that I can remember you wearing, was that something that was symbolic, or was it a favourite jacket?
What'd you say?
I remember in an early TV spot, you had a very special, or it seemed to be a special jacket, because obviously it was an energetic dance, and I think I was quite surprised to actually see you wearing a jacket to do that dance in.
I don't remember.
Okay, this was very, very early on. It was probably one of the...
What is a checker jacket?
I think it was a checker jacket, yes.
It became... Yeah, I remember that. It became the symbol, for all of our work, that we always appeared in front of a of a checkerboard situation, because we always thought that the career was very much like that, where we sort of appeal to a broad audience across the world. Like, it was a mixture of all the people in the world, because what we represented dance in the world. Dancing, so important. Dancing is because what we did in 2 minutes and 42 seconds was symbolic to Alexander Graham Bell saying, "Watson, is that you?" Because when I picked up the phone this morning, I says, "Vince," he says, "Chubby." Every time we pick up the phone, it's like Alexander Graham Bell saying, "Watson, is that you?" So every time somebody's music comes on the radio, or someone is going to a dance, and somebody's music comes on with a beat, Chubby Checker is there.
And how has your body stood up to the wear and tear of doing the twist all the years that you've done it?
Well, we get older, of course, but still we're able to go out and perform, and we do it well.
And is there anything that you still have as, and maybe an unfulfilled wish, some dream that you still would like to have? For example, would you like to come to a place like Benidorm, where we do have some big concerts over here?
Well, if you had the biggest ones, Vincent, and you haven't had me, you haven't had the biggest ones, have you?
Ooh, we'd love to see you over here. I mean, we had last year we had James Brown, and we had Tom Jones. The Rolling Stones have been here. Elton John. I think I think there'd be thousands of us would love to see you over here.
Well, you're not complete unless you have the chub, huh?
Okay, well, look, I don't know what we can do to set the wheels in motion, but seriously, we would love to see you here on the Costa Blanca.
Well, all you have to do is get me on the web and send me some information, and perhaps we can make it happen. I remember the only time I came to Spain was many, many years ago, and Tina Turner was playing at the same time, and I came to Spain to play, and I was there, and do you know something? They didn't let me play. It's the only time I ever came to a country to play, and they paid me, and I didn't play.
That must have been absolutely awful.
It was. I flew to Spain to play. They paid me, and I was supposed to go on stage, and they said, "You're not going on," and that was it.
Well, if we can get any names and hold them to account on this particular one.
Oh no, it's not at all. I just said, well, it's one of those things. Maybe it wasn't time for me to be in Spain to play. But anyway, it's very interesting, and it's the only time that I came to Spain and I didn't play.
Well, look, Chubby, we will have to try and see if we can get you here. There's obviously a part of your life still to be completed. If I'll give you a ring, and maybe we can see if there's any way that we can maybe get this in motion.
Well, just get me on the web and and give me a call here. And if you want to come to Spain, I'm sure we can make something happen.
Well, that's absolutely brilliant. And on behalf of all the people who grew up with the twist and the limbo and the slow twist and let's twist again, Chubby Checker, thank you very much indeed for taking the trouble. I know it's a bit early for you this morning, isn't it?
Hey, Vincent. Vaya con Dios.
Muchas gracias. Chubby, thank you very much indeed.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, well, there we are. We had the one and only Chubby Checker, and here's the music.
Come on, everybody. Clap your hands. Oh, you're looking good. I'm going to sing my song.
I'm a twister dancing, not a twister the other way.
Now, could you, I mean, seriously, if you went out now, could you still do the twist?
Oh, yes, I still do.
All right. And you like to go out and have a bit of dance?
Well, I'm dancing, yes, I always have
Lovely.
done.